We're back on the record. It's 2:16.
All right, so I'm gonna pull up another exhibit, and this has the same title as the previous exhibits, except for the suffix, but the date is May 9th, 2022, 2. So there's 2 with that date, and I've labeled the second one with a 2 at the end. And this is exhibit 6. Share my screen. Are you able to see that, Lieutenant?
I am.
Okay. So this is another Facebook post on the Bonner County Sheriff's Office Facebook page, dated May 9th, 2022. About National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial. And we've got a few comments on this. The first is by a person named Alicia Abbott. And Abbott's comment is still visible. And then Mr. Leighty replied to Alicia Abbott's comment, and that comment was hidden. And then Mr. Leighty also looks like commented directly on the post, and that comment was hidden. Could you tell me why each of Mr. Leighty's comments were hidden?
Well, it appears that the Alicia Abbott response is not on point of the post, and I don't know the reason for the second post being hidden specifically.
From reading it, are you able to provide any explanation right now?
No, the only thing that I'm concerned about is that I don't know if when Mr. Leighty was blocked from the Facebook page, if that blocked comments that he had posted. So I don't know how that's set up.
Could you explain what you mean by that?
Well, Mr. Leighty was blocked from the page, which means he couldn't post on the site for people to see. And I don't know if there's something set up in Facebook, whether or not that is part of that process, or whether it was manually, number one, whether it was manually hidden, or whether it was hidden by the moderator assist or Facebook, or as a result of Mr. Leighty being blocked from the page.
Maybe see if I understand. Are you suggesting that it's possible that once Mr. Leighty was blocked, that affected his comments in some way?
As one of the possibilities, absolutely. Because I know, like I explained before, that there are comments hidden that weren't manually hidden by anyone within the Bonner County Sheriff's Office, but they're still hidden. And that's set up through Facebook's filters and such. So I don't know how that post got hidden specifically.
Okay, so you're just sort of guessing as to how it could have been hidden.
No, I'm giving you possibilities of different options of how posts get hidden on the platform.
How did you form the sort of, what's the basis for your belief that Mr. Leighty being blocked from the page would affect his comments?
Check to the form. Mischaracterizes testimony.
Because I don't know how Facebook responds when a person is blocked, other than them not being able to publicly post comments.
Okay. So you don't know. I'm trying to sort of get an understanding of how you came up with this potential explanation, whether it's based on something that you read about Facebook page operations, sort of what forms the basis for your belief that it could be an option that Mr. Leighty being blocked would affect his comments?
Well, by looking, number one, by reviewing all this information as a result of our, I think you call them RFPs or RFAs, those responses and stuff. As I would look through that stuff originally, I'm like, those were never comments that were hidden by us, but somehow they got hidden within the Facebook platform when they weren't manually hidden by part of the sheriff's office. So I don't, yeah,
Sorry.
I don't know how all that works. Like I explained earlier, between the moderator assist, the Facebook filters, I do know how the manually hide, unhide works. And I don't know how that impacts somebody blocked from the page.
So you're not able to tell whether a comment has been manually hidden or a comment has been filtered by Facebook?
No, I'm not.
But you know that some comments have been hidden manually.
Correct.
Are you aware of any of Mr. Leighty's comments that were hidden but not hidden manually?
I don't know.
And so following your sort of option that it's possible that when Mr. Leighty was blocked, that affected his comments to the extent that they would be hidden. Is that's what you're describing as an option?
Right. I know he cannot post for public view. I don't know what the user, once they're blocked, if they type something up on that site that they're blocked from, how it's registered, memorialized, hidden. I don't know how Facebook does that.
Okay. And so if you follow that, then once Mr. Leighty was unblocked from the Facebook page, his comments would be viewable. Does that sort of align with your?
Well, I don't know. Like I said, does Facebook go back and recreate or make visible once they're now visible on the page? I don't know. I simply don't know.
Do you know, or do you have an understanding of, or strike that, when a Facebook user has been blocked from a Facebook page? So for example, when Mr. Leighty was blocked from the Bonner County Sheriff's Office Facebook page, are you aware, do you have any idea of whether or not the blocked user can even access the page they've been blocked from?
I don't know.
Did you ever, or sorry, strike that, over the past year, have you ever unhidden any comments that were previously hidden?
Let me think about that, because I think there was a time where the sheriff, no, I was confused. There was a time when the sheriff wanted comments to stop being put on the page, and I went back to previous posts to change the settings so comments couldn't be added to those posts. Not hiding any comments, but making it so additional comments couldn't be added. But I don't recall anything related to your question. I'm sorry.
Okay. Going back to the exhibit, is it fair to say that Mr. Leighty's comment, his second comment, is similar in topic to the content of Alicia Abbott's comment.
Yes, in fact, Mr. Leighty is referencing the Officer Down Memorial page, which is the source of, I believe, the source of some of the content that I used in the post.
And so is it fair to say that his comment is not off topic?
Well, as I answered earlier, I don't know why that post was hidden.
Sure, but if you read it right now, it seems, based on what you've testified about using the same website, does it seem that this comment is on topic?
It appears on topic, yes.
That one down.
Got to let me know when you're doing that, so I'm not
Oh,
like
sorry.
squeezing up to the screen trying to read. Sorry,
No, I will, next one, I'll let you know.
I'm just kidding.
All right, the next exhibit is the same title and then with the date May 16th, 2022. You let me know when you're
I see it.
okay. And so this is a post, obviously May 16th, 2022. And the next page shows a few comments. First by a person named Paul Siraki. And then his comment is replied to by a person named Marshall Newman. And then Mr. Leighty is replying to Marshall Newman's comment. Do you know why Mr. Leighty's reply was hidden?
I don't specifically know.
Should take a minute to, or take a moment to read the Siraki, Newman, and Newman comment, and then Mr. Leighty's reply, and let me know when you've read those.
Yes, I've read them.
Is it fair to say that Mr. Leighty's reply comment is similar, the same topic as the comments by Marshall Newman and Paul Siraki?
Generally, yes.
Is there anything that you can tell that distinguishes Mr. Leighty's reply from Marshall Newman or Paul Siraki's comments?
Paul Siraki's referencing the wealthy property owners, probably referring to the home building that's occurring in the document that's posted with it. Paul's talking about deleting comments, or Marshall's responding to Paul about deleting comments. I mean, I would just be rereading them.
Okay. Do you think there's a well, check that. Why don't we go to the second comment that Mr. Leighty wrote, and this is directly on the related to, or he's commenting on the post as opposed to replying to a comment. I think you testified you don't know why this comment was hidden.
Well, we didn't, this is the first time I've seen this comment in
Okay,
this
sorry.
deposition.
Okay, go ahead and read it and then let me know if,
Well, I think the primary reason right off bat is it's off topic.
okay,
It's referring to a shooting several years before that's not related to the property dispute, Camp Bay Road, which is the purpose of the post.
okay.
And then it gets into personal attacks of the prosecutor and the sheriff for not doing things in relation to that investigation, which have absolutely nothing to do with the letter that the sheriff wanted the public to review, that the prosecutor's office and he put together.
I'm gonna scroll back up. Okay. So this press release just talks about sort of, I guess, like warning people not to participate in the gathering at Camp Bay Road.
Oh, no, it's warning about trespassing and vandalism crimes. It's not asking people not to gather.
Okay,
That's not anything that the sheriff's office would restrict.
okay. Do either Paul Siraki's or Marshall Newman's comments here, are they related to the subject of the post?
They don't appear to be directly related, no.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna take this one down.
I'm ready.
Okay. The next exhibit I'm gonna bring up is at the bottom of the list, and it's PL's first ROGs, RFPs, defs, answers, final. And the questions I have really just pertain to page 17 through 18.
And I'm
so
sorry,
I'll-
can you tell me again which page, which one you want? The RFPs or?
yeah, the defense answers final. It should be at the bottom of the list. And this will be, I think, exhibit 7.
It's exhibit 8.
Exhibit 8, thank you. So Lieutenant, will you let me know when you're ready?
Said 17 and 18 page.
Yeah, those are the pages. You can start on page 17.
You want me to
Um,
review it?
Yeah, so if you could, sorry, ignore that highlight. You could review the paragraph that starts at line 18, or sort of in the middle of 18 and 19.
Mr. Leighty made another comment.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, got it. You got it highlighted there. I won't look at my screen, sorry.
Why don't you just review that and let me know when you've finished reviewing.
Okay, I've reviewed it.
Okay. I'm gonna scroll up really quickly just to show you that this is a response, this is part of a lengthy response to interrogatory number 2, which says, please identify each of plaintiff's comments that were at any time hidden and or deleted from the BCSO Facebook page. I'm not going to read the rest, but just so you get a sense of what the question was. And so this paragraph that I asked you to read, it quotes a comment and then says that the comment was deleted. As opposed to, if you look at the previous paragraph that said that comments were blocked. My understanding is that you never deleted a comment. So do you know who would have deleted a comment?
Well, like I explained earlier, I think the blocked, deleted, and hidden are being used interchangeably by whoever answered the questions, because we don't have the ability to block comments. We have the ability to hide or delete comments. And I believe what the writer is saying here is those comments were hidden.
So, sorry, you're saying that when the writer used the term blocked, they mean hidden?
Correct. Because blocked means we never got them because they were blocked from even posting them. Deleted means permanently deleted, in which we aren't doing, and hidden means hidden from public view, which is what I've explained in my testimony as that I've done.
So do you think this, so your understanding that no comments were ever deleted?
That's my understanding.
Okay. And that this using the word deleted is just using the wrong word.
Asked and answered.
Yes. Because
gonna
I
stop.
believe you saw the comment on the previous exhibit, which means it's not deleted, it's just not viewable. Or viewable.
Yeah. Yes, those we saw were grayed out as hidden, correct. I'm just trying to, yeah. Okay, and so similarly, the next paragraph, which starts at line 22 of page 17 and then goes down to line 2 of page 18. It ends with, this comment was deleted. It's your understanding that that comment was not deleted, but rather hidden?
That would be my belief, yes.
Okay. And but you don't know, for example, that someone else with administrative privileges on the BCSO Facebook page, you don't know that they didn't delete either of those 2 comments. Is it correct?
No, I don't specifically know if somebody who has access got in there and deleted comments, but we just looked at it, which means it's not deleted.
Okay. And you say we just looked at it. Do you think we just looked at these 2 specific comments?
I believe so. I believe the one was in relation to the Camp Bay Road post, and then the other one was related to the 10,000 follower post.
I'm going to take this one down. You please pull up it's a document that starts pages from various texts from J VanGesen, and then the date on that is April 22nd, 2022.
I see
Um,
it. Thank you.
Okay, so these,
Are you making this an exhibit?
oh, yes, sorry, thank you. So this is exhibit 9. Okay. So my understanding is that the green bubbles are text messages that you sent.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Do you know who you're sending these messages to?
I believe on these pages, it's to the sheriff.
Okay. And on the right-hand side box at the bottom, there's a bubble, green bubble. It says, if you have a minute, can you give me a call at your convenience regarding some Facebook comments? Do you know if these were regarding comments made by Mr. Leighty?
I would have to look at the post around the 21st of April to see if there were comments from Mr. Leighty or any other person that we were talking about there.
Okay. And would you often just call the sheriff to discuss comments that you thought should be hidden?
Well, I brought comments to his attention that violated the rules, and then he makes the decision on whether or not they get hidden.
Okay.
It could be, he routinely stopped by my office at least once a day, and sometimes I reserved those conversations for in person. Sometimes it was via text. Sometimes it was me stopping by the office to bring it to his attention. So, I mean, there were a variety of ways that we discussed those things.
Okay. And just sort of separate or related topic, but how did you collect your text messages to be produced for this lawsuit?
Well, number one, I don't delete text messages, so it was a complete historical record. I screenshotted every screenshot that had text related to Facebook information. I sent those attached them to my computer. I printed them out. After I printed them out, I then redacted them to areas that had nothing to do with Facebook or Mr. Leighty or the lawsuit or anything like that, and provided them to Under Sheriff Lakewald.
Okay. And so it sounds like you would just reviewed your entire history of text messages with Sheriff Wheeler. Is that right?
And the Under Sheriff.
Okay, both.
And I'm trying to think if anybody else. Yeah, those would have been the only ones that had any content at all that were appropriate to the request.
Okay. Stop sharing, and I think I can pull up. Let's see.
And Mika, you can see on the on that previous exhibit, taking pictures of like a sample text. Here's a draft, a couple minor changes, and then I, usually alert the sheriff to check his email because it's easier to view on his email to see the full content before he gives the okay, to get it posted. So that's kind of that's the flow of how it worked, either via text, via email. I quite often would tell him, be looking in your email, or I'll send you a text when the post is up for him to review.
Okay, got
or
it.
when it's available for him to review.
I'm gonna pull up a document that I think is already a marked exhibit. I just don't know which one. It's the pages from various Facebook posts, April 2022. And I'm just pulling it up. So the text message that we just looked at was from April 22nd, 2022. And this post is from April 21st, 2022. And we looked earlier, but there are comments by Mr. Leighty on that post. So is it fair to say that the text message that you sent to Sheriff Wheeler asking to talk about Facebook comments one day after this post, you might have been talking with him about Mr. Leighty's comments?
Fair to say, and I might have been referring to this, I might have been referring to something previous, but definitely this is in time with the text thread that you showed me.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't give you a warning there.
It's okay. I'm
all right.
getting adjusted to it, so.
Okay. Next document I'd like to pull up is June 9th, or sorry, various texts from Jon VanGesen, June 9th, 2022.
23.
June 9th, 2022. Should be the third from the bottom. And I think this is exhibit 10. And so on the left-hand side box, there's a text from you, I believe. Is that right? The green-
Yes.
Okay. Can you give me a call when you get a chance about the assessor's post? And then at the bottom of that box, it says, "Good morning, John. Looks like JD has another Facebook account." Do you think this text message is with the sheriff?
Yes, I believe it is.
And he says, "At your convenience, can you please remove the John Sicer Blount comment from the assessor post? Thank you." Is it your understanding that the sheriff, or did you have any understanding as to how the sheriff determined that the John Sicer Blount account was also an account made by Mr. Leighty?
No, I don't know how he drew that conclusion.
And did you review the Blount comment before you hit it?
Oh, I'm sure I read it. Yeah,
Okay. But because the sheriff told you to hide it, you hid it?
correct.
Okay. Did he ask you to hide the Blount comment because he suspected it was a new profile created by Mr. Leighty?
Check to the form, call for speculation.
I don't know if it was that or the actual content of the comment.
Okay. We can take this one down. The next one I'd like you to pull up is the various texts with the date April 9th, 2023. This is exhibit 11. Is this also looks like a text message between you and Sheriff Wheeler?
I don't know if that's Sheriff Wheeler or Roar, Under Sheriff
Okay.
Lakewell.
Okay, so it might be the undersheriff you're texting with here.
Correct.
Okay.
And I'll just offer that these appear to be the same ones that you put up before.
Yeah,
Just the side of them.
yeah.
And I don't know if those were provided by Lakeweld or Wheeler.
Okay. But someone, whether it's Sheriff Wheeler or Under Sheriff Lakeweld, told you to unblock Mr. Leighty from the BCSO Facebook page.
Yes.
Did you have any follow-up conversations about unblocking Mr. Leighty, or did you have understanding why you were asked to unblock him?
We did have follow-up conversation, and my understanding was that as part of the agreement with this lawsuit was that Mr. Leighty would have access to the page. Something related to that.
Okay, was that the only reason that you were given?
As far as I know.
Take this one down. Please pull up various texts from Jon VanGesen, April 10th, 12th, 2023.
I see it.
Are you able to tell who you were texting with?
I am not. I mean, I believe it's a continuation of the previous text with the undersheriff, just
On the-
without identifiers, just the back and forth.
Sure, sure.
10-4 the undersheriff uses a lot. The sheriff's never used 10-4.
Okay, got it. Both on the bottom of the left-hand block and the top of the right hand, it says Lucas and Beth have been unblocked from Facebook. There are no blocked users now.
Correct.
And those are referring to the two other people that you mentioned earlier who were blocked from the BCSO Facebook page before you joined BCSO.
Correct. Or before I knew that anybody else had been blocked.
Sure. Who did someone ask you to unblock Lucas and Beth?
Right. When I unblocked Mr. Leighty, as I was told to do, I found Lucas and Beth, and then I inquired what to do with those profiles as well. And I was told to unblock them. And that's why I responded and said that they've been unblocked too.
And did the undersheriff tell you to do that, or the sheriff?
I don't recall. I'm obviously confirming back with the undersheriff, but I don't know if there was dialogue with the sheriff at that point too or not.
Okay, but one of either the undersheriff or the sheriff.
Yes.
Did you receive any explanation as to why Lucas and Beth should be unblocked in addition to Mr. Leighty?
No, not specifically.
Generally, any information or explanation?
No, I mean, my understanding was because we were unblocking Mr. Leighty. That's why I said, well, do you want these other two people unblocked too? Because I'm sure that they didn't know that there were these two profiles sitting in there as well. So that's how that conversation started. And I don't know how they went and made that decision to go ahead and unblock them as they did with Mr. Leighty. I don't know necessarily what was involved in their decision to have him unblocked.
Did you say that you didn't think that the sheriff or undersheriff knew that these people, Lucas and Beth, were blocked?
I don't know that they knew those user profiles were sitting in a blocked user area of Facebook. I don't know any history of either of those profiles with either the undersheriff or sheriff.
Were the sheriff or undersheriff or either of them surprised that there were these two other individuals who were blocked?
I don't remember their emotion about it.
Okay, so it sounds like, is it fair, sorry, am I correct in understanding that you personally don't know whether the sheriff or undersheriff knew that these Lucas and Beth users had been blocked?
Right. I have no personal knowledge.
Okay. Take this one down. Heather, it's almost 3 o'clock, so I should be done by 4. And if you need time to sorry, we can go off the record for a second.
We're going off the record. It's 2:58. Back on the record, it's 2:58.
The next document, let's see, she will. Just 1 second. Okay. The next document is pages from various texts from Jon VanGesen, August 31st, 2023. And then we can pull up also the one right above that, which is August 31st, 2023, 2. You can look at those two right after each other. We'll look at the just August 31st, 2023 first, and then the second one second. And mark these as exhibits, although Connie, I'm sorry, I've lost track of what exhibit it is.
13
Okay.
and 14.
Okay, thank you. So this is a text addressed to you. Do you know who this is from?
Not specifically, but I believe it's the sheriff.
Okay. And he says this guy's posting some strange stuff on the chaplain's post, and the one you posted on the arsonist, we may need to remove it because it violates our rules. And it looks like you just you say I'll hide both posts, but it sounds, did you mean to say I'll hide both comments?
Yes, I didn't hide a post.
Okay.
Both posts by the gentleman,
Okay.
referring to Antonio Valeris's
Yes.
post with comment.
Yes. Okay. And what rule did this comment violate?
Well, I think it was off topic. We were talking about without seeing the post, I can only speculate that it was off topic because we were talking about the arrest of a man responsible for starting 12 forest fires during the summer that we arrested.
But because the sheriff said to you this violates our rules, please remove it, you just removed it, or hit it rather.
Yes, I hit it at his direction.
Okay. And then the second, or sorry, exhibit 14, which is has the suffix August 31st, 2023 2. I think it's a continuation of that text exchange with the sheriff. Does that seem right?
Is that your question?
Yeah.
Pending?
I see it and it looks like it's part of, well, without seeing, I can't see the date and time. So I don't know if there's a space in between, but essentially it's a same thing where the sheriff saw something on the site, took a picture of it, sent it to me, and looks like it might be the same guy with a different name, same friends, with comments that were previously hidden.
Okay. So the sheriff saw this comment and thought looks to be the same guy as the comment that he previously asked you to hide. And so as a result, he wanted you to hide this comment as well.
That's all he put in the text, yes.
Okay. Do you know how often the sheriff would review comments?
I don't.
But it's fair to say that he reviewed them from time to time and he'd send things to you.
Yes.
Can pull that one down. Okay. What is your understanding of the current Facebook page policy? Like, what can you do and what can you not do? And why you can't do those things as a result of this litigation?
Oh, as a result of the litigation?
Yeah.
The only thing we can't do is allow comments, so we have to set up a filter on each post, only allowing people that we tag in our post to comment on our post, because that's the only way Facebook allows you to not allow comments. So we don't tag anybody in our post, therefore not allowing anybody to comment.
Are you allowed to block Facebook users from your page?
I never have and never been asked to, and it's never been part of a discussion.
Okay.
I've only removed unblocked users after the litigation.
Have you ever been told that the acts of hiding Mr. Leighty's comments violated the First Amendment?
Asked and answered, calls for a legal conclusion.
No, I've never been told that.
Have you ever been told that blocking Mr. Leighty from the BCSO Facebook page violates the First Amendment?
Same
No.
objection.
Never been told that.
Have you ever been told generally that a First Amendment violation can occur when a government agency hides a comment from from that government agency's public Facebook page?
Same objections.
No.
I believe you've testified that, I know you've testified that comments are currently disabled on the Bonner County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. Were you told by anyone why that decision was made?
I was told that there was an agreement or something within this litigation where the comments were going to be turned off. I don't know what those conversations were. I was just told that you're not to allow comments anymore, and then I figured out how to make the page so it wouldn't allow comments, like I explained earlier, where we have to select only people that we tag can comment on the page. So each time I post, I have to make that modification to the post so that public comments are not allowed.
So when you were told to disable comments on the page, that was the first time you'd ever heard about disabling comments as a result of this litigation?
Yes.
Conform.
What was your reaction to the request or instruction to disable comments?
I disagreed with the sheriff. I made my
Yeah.
opinion known, but I followed his direction.
What was your opinion other than you disagreed?
Asked and answered at the beginning of this deposition. Go ahead and answer again.
Oh, I was just disappointed that we weren't able to keep the public engaged on our Facebook page as a result of another user abusing the Facebook page by not following the terms and conditions of the use of the page. And now everybody had lost the ability to comment on the Facebook page. And fortunately, people haven't disengaged from our Facebook page, even though they can't comment. And that's a conversation that the sheriff and I have had, but he ultimately makes the decision on what happens on the Facebook page for the government agency that he's the head of.
You mentioned that in your answer that the comments were disabled as a result of another user abusing the page. Is that something that the sheriff explained to you, or did you independently form that understanding?
Well, I think that's my interpretation of the circumstances, where, someone, instead of using the page appropriately and commenting on topic and allowing all the other community members to comment on topic and assist our community in being safer and exchanging information, that was lost because the sheriff has since turned off comments where that no longer takes place.
Did the sheriff explain to you why he was moving forward with disabling comments despite your disagreement?
Yes,
Conform.
What did he say?
that it was a result of this litigation.
Okay.
Those aren't his exact words, but that was my understanding. Sorry.
Did he say to you, not in these exact words, but did he say that it was as a result of another, as a result of a Facebook user abusing the page?
No.
Are you aware that also as a result of litigation, Bonner County Sheriff's Office had to agree to leave Mr. Leighty unblocked from the Facebook page?
Yes,
And who told you that?
the sheriff.
Did he explain why?
Well, he said he was to unblock, in the text. I don't know if it was from the sheriff or under sheriff. That was the first I heard of it through the text was, is he unblocked? And I'm like, no, I haven't been told to unblock him. And that's why I asked, well, can it happen on Monday? And that was the first I heard of it.
Did either the sheriff or under sheriff explain why Mr. Lee needed to be unblocked?
No, I just understood it was part of the litigation.
Object to the form, asked and answered.
Do you believe that law enforcement agencies have a right to hide comments from their official Facebook pages?
Object to the form.
My personal opinion is that, number one, we want to have this dialogue with the community. But we also don't want people to be disruptive of it. If somebody else is speaking in front of a crowd and somebody rushes up and interrupts them, that's disruptive to the person that's speaking. Likewise, comments that are off topic and those kind of things. I don't believe that the comment should be hidden, as I testified to earlier, simply because people will self-regulate those comments on their own. But I also don't agree that somebody should be able to post a comment that's in memorial for 100 years when it's like yelling fire in a theater when it's off topic, and personal attacks. It's just it gets messy, and unfortunately, because it got messy, unfortunately, nobody gets to participate anymore.
When you say messy, could you explain what you mean?
Well, obviously, there's a situation with Mr. Leighty and the sheriff's office and Mr. Leighty using the Facebook page. And due to his use of the Facebook page, the sheriff made decisions that then impacted the other users. And my definition of messy is, like I explained, now because of somebody else's actions, probably unintended, whatever, now other people, an unknown amount of people can't comment on our Facebook page because of an agreement not to allow comments.
You mentioned a situation between Mr. Leighty and the sheriff. What is your understanding? What are you referring to?
Well, I'm referring to Mr. Leighty involved in the post regarding this killing of Craig Johnson, which he's posted several times on our Facebook page, which was a shooting involving Bonner County deputies 5+ years ago. He put it on the Facebook page.
And what's wrong with that?
Well, it has nothing to do with what our social media platform is doing. It's providing the information public on us, the public information about a specific topic. It's a tool that we're trying to use to connect with the community. And people are distracting from that. In this case, Mr. Leighty, and now nobody gets to interact with the sheriff's office on that social media page. But Mr. Leighty's not blocked. He can view it.
You think that connecting with members of the public involves it's a back and forth conversation?
Absolutely, I do.
And is bringing an issue to the sheriff's office attention, if that issue involves members of the sheriff's office, you think that's a matter of public concern that should be discussed?
Yes.
Object to the
Yes,
form.
and I believe there's a variety of ways. Sorry.
Sorry.
And I believe there's a variety of ways that that can be accomplished. There's editorial pages in newspapers. There's advertising that people can purchase. But I, you know, it's, yeah, I mean, there's other avenues to educate the public than using the company or agencies or office's Facebook page to get your message out there.
Do you understand the distinction between what a private company can do with their Facebook page versus what a government agency can do with their Facebook page?
No,
Check for the form.
A couple questions ago, you used an example of someone shouting fire in the theater. Do you remember that?
yes.
Okay. And is it your belief that that is similar to, or that can be similar to commenting on a Facebook post?
Where I was using that, where I was using that comparison was coming up and interrupting somebody that's speaking, or for instance, talking about a guy getting shot by the police when it's a post about it's completely distracting from what's happening. And that was the comparison that I was using.
Okay. Aside from the changes to the Bonner County Sheriff's Office Facebook page that we just discussed, so the disabling of comments and unblocking Mr. Leighty and other users, are you aware of any other policy changes within the Bonner County Sheriff's Office regarding social media use?
I'm not aware of any policy or policy changes. I'm aware of procedural changes in what we do on the Facebook page as far as what you outlined as those new procedures.
Okay, so just to confirm, aside from disabling comments and unblocking users, you're not aware of any other procedural changes?
I am not.
Are you aware of any policy or procedural changes with respect to social media for Bonner County as a whole?
No, I am not.
Why don't we take a 5-minute break? I just want to review my notes and see if there's any other questions I need to ask, okay? Come back at 3:25.
Okay, we're going off the record. It's 3:21. We're back on the record. It is 3:25.
Just have a few more questions for you. Do you believe it's unlawful to hide or delete Facebook comments on a law enforcement Facebook page that criticize the police while keeping comments that express positive feelings towards the police?
Check for the form.
I don't know.
Looking back on the sort of months of monitoring the BCSO Facebook page while comments were enabled and hiding comments and blocking Mr. Leighty, is there anything that you would have done differently now that you're able to look back on it?
Check to the form, calls for speculation.
I don't know that I would do anything differently. I mean, I expressed my opinions and my thoughts to the sheriff and undersheriff, and then I did what I was told because I believe that I wasn't violating any law.
You said that you believe you weren't violating any law. Did you do any research or review anything to form that belief?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I had no information from my familiarization or use of social media over the last 5 years that indicated that I was doing anything improperly.
So you relied on the familiarization training and your experience with Kitsap County Sheriff's Office social media to determine that you hadn't been doing anything unlawful.
Check to the form, mischaracterizes testimony.
In addition to the 6.5 years of using multiple social media platforms and talking to other people within the industry, I have no understanding that I did anything improperly.
When you say talking to other people in the industry, do you mean your colleagues at Bonner County Sheriff's Office?
No, I mean law enforcement people who use or post or manage social media sites for their agencies, which is part of that group involved in the familiarization class and learning from their experiences.
Have you been in contact with them since joining Bonner County Sheriff's Office?
No.
So you're referring to previous communications you had with them prior to joining BCSO?
Correct.
If Bonner County Sheriff's Office decided to enable public comments again on their Facebook page, would you suggest or recommend any changes to procedure or policy with respect to the Facebook page?
Check to the form.
Other than what I've already suggested, both through my testimony and to the sheriff and undersheriff, my recommendations would be the same: to allow public comment and let the public participate on our Facebook page. But I understand that's not happening. So yeah, I don't know how else to answer your question, I guess.
I can ask it a different way. Would you suggest any changes to the terms of use that are posted on the Facebook page if public commenting were enabled?
No, I don't think it has any. I don't think it, as learning through this process, I don't think it has, it'll distract, it'll stop the people that want to follow the rules because they want to be a respectful member of the platform, and the people that choose not to follow the rules would choose not to follow the rules. And but I believe that both people should be commenting on the website, on the platform, regardless of the terms of use.
Sorry, did you say both people should or both people would be?
Should be.
Okay.
Should be able to use the platform regardless of the terms of use.
When you say regardless of the terms of use, what does that mean?
That not to hide comments like we had talked about earlier. I didn't necessarily agree with it, but I did what I was asked to do because it was interpreted as violating those terms.
Okay, I want to make sure I'm understanding. So are you saying that if public comments were enabled again, you would advocate for not hiding comments?
I advocated for not hiding comments before they were disabled, and I would do the same afterwards. But it's not my decision.
At the beginning of the deposition, I think I asked whether you had reviewed the stipulation and order entering a preliminary injunction. I'm gonna pull that up just so you can look at it and refresh your recollection in case you have looked at it. And that should be the third from the top on the exhibits folder. And we can mark this exhibit, oh boy. 16? Am I wrong?
You want to wait and see if he recognizes it before you make an exhibit? I mean, if he hasn't seen it, then he's not able to lay the foundation for it.
Sure. Lieutenant, have you seen this document before?
Not until I just opened it and looked at it on your screen.
Okay. And this is, you opened the stipulation and order entering preliminary injunction?
Yes.
Okay.
Are we marking it as an exhibit?
I guess we don't have to. Thank you, sorry. Lieutenant, those are all the questions I have for you today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
And I have no questions. We'll read and sign.
Okay, this concludes today's deposition with Lieutenant Jon VanGesen. The time is 3:33, and we're going off the record.